Âl-i Esvâç ve Taharet evladı Resul-i Ashab güzin efendilerimizin vesaire Enbiya-i İzzem ve Resul-i Fiyan haziratın ervâ şeriflerine Pirimiz Bilal-ı Habeşi radıyallahu anh efendimizin ve alel husus bu caminin ve ailesi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş imam müezzin kaynımlarının ve kahve ehli imanın ervahı için sahibi Seyyid Şeyh Abdülkerim el-Kıbrıs Abdurrahman Hazretleri için Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketehu yusallûne alen nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne âmenû sallu aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya ale's-salâh. Hayya ale's-salâh. Hayya alel-felâh. Hayya alel-felâh. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Vessalatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmedullah Teala ve neşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike lah ve enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluh sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve sahbihi tabi hulafe raşidin mahdin min ba'di ve zemmati ala tahkik hususen mehzimalaimati hulafe resulü ala tahkik Ömer el-Mu'minin Hazreti Ebu Bakr, Ömer, Osman ve Ali ve la bege sahabe tabi'in ridvanullah teala aleyhim ecmain. Ya eyyuhel mu'minun hazirun yattakullah teala ve tu'innallaha mellezine tekavellezine hum muhsinun. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Ve afdalü salat ve temmu teslim ala seyyidinel enbiya imam mursalin Seyyidina Mevlana Muhammed aleyhissalatu vesselam. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who is the first, the last, the manifest, the hidden, the one who has might and power over all things. All praises are to Allah, who sent His most beloved one, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, as the mercy to the universes. And may all peace and blessings be upon the Sultan of the Prophets, the Imam of the Messengers, the Master of the first and the last, the pride of the universes, the grandfather of Hassan and Hussein, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar al-Faruq, Hazrat Osman al-Ghani, and Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, welcome to you on this holy day of Jumu'ah. And welcome to you on the first Jumu'ah of the month of Zul-Qadah. O believers, treat the Jumu'ah day with respect. Hazrat Ali Karamallahu Wajha was saying in his khutbah what he heard from the Holy Prophet ﷺ, saying, when Jumu'ah comes, the shaitans, they go to the markets with their flags and they involve people in their needs and prevent them from the Jumu'ah prayer. The angels come early in the morning, sit at the door of the masjid and record that so and so came at the first hour and so came at the second hour until the imam comes out. When a man sits in a place
where he can listen to the khutbah and look at the imam, where he remains silent and does not interrupt, he will receive a double reward. If he stays away, sits in a place where he cannot listen, silent and does not interrupt, he will receive the reward only once. If he sits in a place where he can listen to the khutbah and look at the imam, but he does not remain silent, he will have the burden of it. If anyone says to his companion sitting beside him to be silent when the imam is given the khutbah, he is guilty of idle talk. Anyone who interrupts during the khutbah, he will receive nothing on that Jummah day. Inshallah Rahman, we will show the proper care to this Jummah that is being taught to us by Shahi Mirdan. O believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us in the Holy Quran, as for whoever passed the limits and preferred the life of this world, surely his abode, his home will be the fire. And as for whoever feared to stand before his Lord and he controls the desires of his ego, surely his abode, his home will be the garden. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, have you seen the one who takes as his ilah his own desire? Then would you be responsible for him? Or do you think that most of them, they hear or they reason? They are like cattle. No, they are even more misguided in their way. And in another ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the one who purifies his ego, he has succeeded, and makes zikr of Allah and prayers, but you prefer the life of this world, even though the hereafter is better for you and it is longer lasting. And the Imam of the Haramain, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, is saying in his Hadith Sharif, your worst enemy is your ego that lives between your two sides inside your body. And the Prophet of Allah speaks the truth. O believers, the ego is our enemy. That nafs, that ego that lives inside of us, it is our enemy. And as the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, it is not only our enemy, it is our worst enemy. More than any government, more than any state, more than any conspiracy, our biggest enemy is our ego. Because falling into the tricks and traps of the ego, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Holy Quran, it leads us to the fire. And the ego and the desires, they want us to worship them. They want us to take them as an ilah. And if we do that, then we lose the title of human beings and we become worse than animals. So many foolish 21st century Muslims today who have no connection to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, who have no connection to his inheritors, who have no connection to the 1,400-year-old living tradition that is the inheritance of the Rasulullah ﷺ. They are running around saying that in this time we have to physically fight. We have to go to war. They are running to fight an outside enemy without fighting their inside enemy first. Firstly, there is no fighting in this time without a Khalifa who is the inheritor of the Rasulullah ﷺ. So whatever fighting they are claiming to do, it is without the permission of the Prophet of Allah and without the permission of the friends of Allah. But even more than that, there is a more important fight that must be fought. Who is saying this? This is not our own idea that we are speaking on the mimbar. No. These are the words of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. As our Shaykh is teaching us, the Holy Prophet ﷺ is coming from the war. He came to his masjid. He sat, and the Sahabe Kiram came and they sat. He said to them, Now we are turning from the small jihad to a greater jihad, to the bigger jihad, from a small war to a bigger war. They said, Ya Rasulullah, we are just coming from war. So many Sahabi died, so many are wounded, so much wealth disappeared. Can there be a bigger war than this? He said, yes. The war that you are going to make against your ego, against your nafs, that is the biggest jihad that you are going to make. And Shaykh Effendi is explaining this hadith to us more, saying, and that jihad, it must continue until you enter to the grave. You cannot let it go. You cannot say, oh, today I fix myself. My ego is complete, so I'm going to do as I like. You cannot do as you like. The more you are completing your ego, the more you are going to see Allah's order becomes more detailed to you. You watch every word that you say. You watch every step that you make. This is the reason for Tariqat. Tariqat is not for you to eat each other. Tariqat is not for people to sit next to each other and hate each other. It's not that. Tariqat is to teach you, to take you from the lower self and to bring you to the highest station. If you are not doing that, then it doesn't matter what kind of shaykh you have. People didn't listen to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. They ended up in Jahannam. Abu Jahil didn't listen to the Prophet. So many Abu Jahils didn't listen to the Prophet ﷺ. They were sitting in front of him. They were watching him. They didn't listen to the Prophet ﷺ. Who they listened to? Their ego. To their ego, to their shaitan. And in the end, they are in Jahannam. Right now that we are talking, the fire is burning them. Just like one awliya, Hazrat Bulleh Shah, is saying in his poetry. You read so many books trying to become a scholar, but you never read the book of yourself. You run to enter into every masjid, but you never tried to enter into your own heart. Every day you go to war against shaitan for nothing, because you have never gone to war against your ego. Oh Bulleh Shah, you are trying to grab what is in the sky, but you never caught hold of what is inside of you. So this struggle, this jihad against the ego, this is what we are here for in this life. If we leave this life without conquering our ego, then we are going to leave this life as the losers. And we have to understand how dangerous an enemy this ego is. That ego is so dangerous that even the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the one who was a prophet when Adam was between water and clay, the one who passed beyond Sidratul Muntaha, the most honored one in divine presence, he ﷺ was praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, Ya Rabbi, do not leave me to the hand of my ego even for the blink of an eye. What about us? And the only way to conquer the ego, the only way to fight the ego, the only way to gain mastery over the ego is to submit and to follow someone who has already fought and they have won that battle. Today's Muslims, they don't want to follow anyone. Today's Muslims learn the Alif Bata, they learn a couple of surahs, they listen to a couple of lectures, and they think that they are the biggest scholars and saints that have ever appeared on the face of the earth. They even dare to criticize the earlier scholars and the earlier saints. They think, why do I have to follow someone? Don't I have a brain? Don't I have my own intelligence? Don't I have books I can read? So their egos have already conquered them. If a man found himself in the middle of a war, with the bullets flying and the bombs falling, he would not try to fight. He would not even try to save himself. He would look for someone to save him. He would look to someone who knows how to avoid and dodge these bullets and all the mines to save him. The battle against the ego, it is more dangerous than the war zone. Because in the physical war, the worst thing that can happen is that you will be killed. In a war against the ego, You may die a spiritual death, and you are the loser not just in this life, but for eternity. And may Allah save us from that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent the inheritors of the Rasulullah alayhi wasalam as the guides to help mankind fight against to their ego. The awliya Allah, they have conquered their egos already. They have won that battle, and they are the generals who are there to guide mankind towards the same victory. And the only way to fight this ego is to submit to the Shaykh. Without full submission, the fight against the ego cannot be won. You know how to submit to a corporal, not even to a general if you are in the army. You know how to submit to a sergeant. But in the spiritual war, the ignorance of 21st century Muslims have reached all the way up to Sidratul Muntaha, and they say, no, we're not going to submit to anyone except for Allah. Who are these ones teaching you to submit to? Themselves. They're teaching you how to submit to Allah. But you cannot enter into the divine court of La ilaha illallah until you enter into the divine court of Muhammad Rasulullah. Our sheikhs are teaching us how to enter into the court of the Prophet ﷺ. As Sahibul Sahib is saying, Tariqat, it is submission. If you have submission, then you have Tariqat. If you don't have submission, then you don't have Tariqat. You can claim as much as you want that you have Tariqat, you don't have Tariqat. Your Tariqat is according to your ego then. You are making your Tariqat according to your ego. That's why in today's people, everywhere there are Tariqats. People are dancing, eating and sleeping, saying, Tariqat, we are in Tariqat. Tariqat teaches you how to work against your ego, nothing else. Either you are working for Allah or you are working for your ego. If you are working for Allah, then leave the desires of the ego aside, because the enjoyments of this world within the borderlines of Islam saying, do this and do that, it is okay. But if you don't know the limit, then you're going to pass out of that limit, and then you are going to think, yes, we are still number one. But you are not. You are already out. You have already fallen out of Tariqat. So this road of fighting the ego, this road of submitting to the Shaykh, this road of walking in the way of Allah, it is not easy for the ego. It is very easy for the spirit. Because the spirit is always in submission. The spirit is always in the will of Allah. But there is no other choice. And the reward for walking this road with sincerity and submission, it is a tremendous reward. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying in his Hadith Sharif, the true mujahid is the one who battles his ego to become obedient to Allah Azza wa Jal. And for the person who does that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us how He will call him in the next life, saying, O you, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, O you, Nafsul Mutma'in, the nafs that is satisfied with his Lord, return to your Lord, that you are pleased with your Lord and He is pleased with you. Enter amongst my righteous servants. Enter into my garden. Sadaqallahu azim. Inshallah Rahman, we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the tawfiq to stay with our Shaykh and submit to him in this way of fighting our egos, so that when we pass from this life, we can hear our Lord saying that call to us. Amin. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, lazim alazi, la ilaha illa wal hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayhi. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والله الحمد لله كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والله الحمد لله كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والله الحمد لله كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إن كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إن كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إن كنت من الظالمين سبح قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح سبح قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح سبح قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح إن دين عند الله الإسلام قام الصلاة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayyâlel selâ, hayyâlel selâ, hayyâlel felâ, hayyâlel felâ. Ve dikâmet selâtu ve dikâmet selâ. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, la ilahe illa.